Hey fam, welcome, hello. My name is Amy. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I'm just, I tend to babble and swear. So like if you'd enjoy some background noise while you vacuum or something, have I got a video for you. I'd like to go over an article that I came across about toxicity in human beings. And, because like life is interesting, isn't it? People, folks, they tend to be interesting, don't they? And like some of us are just like curious, if nothing else, right? Like we have questions and may still be waiting for someone to finally make this all make sense. Now feel free to disagree with any of, the thoughts, opinions, or even feelings that I may express. Like we don't have to agree to respect one another, all that groovy shit. So yeah, let's do this. Alright, so we're going to talk about toxic people, 12 things they do, and how to deal with them. This is written by Karen Young. Number 1, they'll keep you guessing about which version of them you're getting. They'll be completely lovely one day, and the next you'll be wondering what you've done to upset them. There often isn't anything obvious that will explain the change of attitude. You just know something isn't right. They might be prickly, sad, cold, or cranky, and when you ask if there's something wrong, the answer will likely be nothing. But they'll give you just enough to let you know that there's something, and that just enough might be a heaving sigh, a raised eyebrow, a cold shoulder. And when this happens, you might find yourself making excuses for them or doing everything you can to make them happy. See why it works for them? Stop trying to please them. Toxic people figured out a long time ago that decent people will go to extraordinary lengths to keep the people they care about happy. If your attempts to please aren't working or aren't lasting for very long, maybe it's time to stop. Walk away and come back when the mood has shifted. You are not responsible for anybody else's feelings. Sometimes it's hard to really discern what that can mean for whatever circumstance, right? Like, you don't want to be the person upsetting someone or causing any issues, right? So it's like, oh, let me fix it, blah, 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 but like, dude, if you've done something unknowingly to hurt somebody, ask. Talk about it, and if need be, apologize. At any rate, you shouldn't have to guess. Insert Persian cat meme here. Oh, I love that motherfucker. Anyway, number 2, they'll manipulate. Doesn't that just feel so good to be on the receiving end of that shit? If you feel as though you're the only one contributing to the relationship, you're probably right. Toxic people have a way of sending out the vibe that you owe them something. That just kind of feels like we're talking about narcissists, doesn't it? Like stereotypical shit, right? They also have a way of taking from you or doing something that hurts you, then maintaining they were doing it all for you. This is particularly common in workplaces or relationships where the balance of power is out. I've left that 6 months worth of filing for you. I thought you'd appreciate the experience and the opportunity to learn your way around the filing cabinets. Not the filing cabinets, Barb. Or, I'm having a dinner party. Why don't you bring dinner for 10? It'll give you a chance to show off those kitchen skills, eh? No, Barb, no. No enchiladas for you. You don't owe anybody anything. If it doesn't feel like a favor, it's not. And 3, they won't own their feelings. Rather than owning their own feelings, they'll act as though the feelings are yours. It's called projection, as in projecting their feelings and thoughts onto you. For example, someone who is angry but won't take responsibility for it might accuse you of being angry with them. It might be as subtle as, "Are you okay with me?" Or a bit more pointed, like, "Why are you angry at me?" Or, "You've been in a bad mood all day." You'll find yourself justifying and defending, and often this will go around in circles because it's not about you. Be really clear on what's yours and what's theirs. If you feel as though you're defending yourself too many times against accusations or questions that don't fit, you might be being projected onto. You don't have to explain, justify, or defend yourself, or deal with a misfired accusation. Remember that. They'll make you prove yourself to them. They'll regularly put you in a position where you have to choose between them and something else, and you'll always feel obliged to choose them. Toxic people will wait until you have a commitment, and then they'll unfold the drama. If you really cared about me, you'd skip your exercise class and spend time with me. The problem with this is that enough will never be enough. Few things are fatal, unless it's life or death. Chances are it can wait. But also, number 5, they never apologize. They'll lie before they ever apologize, so there's no point arguing. They'll twist the story, change the way it happened, and retell it so convincingly that they'll believe their own nonsense. Right? Like, isn't that a fucking, like, stereotypical narcissist thing to do? Yeah, but it's how I feel. I felt like my nose was broken. People don't have to apologize to be wrong, and you don't need an apology to move on. Just move forward without them. Don't surrender your truth, but don't keep the argument going. There's no point. Some people want to be right more than they want to be happy. And you have better things to do than to provide fodder for the right fighters. Number 6, they'll be there in a crisis, but they'll never, ever share your joy. They'll find reasons your good news isn't great news. The classics. About a promotion. The money isn't that great for the amount of work you'll be doing. About a holiday at the beach. Well, it's going to be very hot. Are you sure you want to go? About being made queen of the universe. Well, the universe isn't that big, you know, and I'm pretty sure you won't get tea breaks. Not the tea breaks. You get the idea. Don't let them dampen you or shrink you down to their size. You don't need their approval anyway, or anyone else's for that matter. That's really all this channel is, just me reminding you, like, fuck those people, you do you. You're not being a douche nozzle out there, are you? Nah, so fuck them. Number 7, they'll leave a conversation unfinished, and then they'll go offline. Don't you just love it? They won't pick up their phone, they won't answer texts or emails, and in between rounds of their voicemail message, you might find yourself playing the conversation or argument over and over in your head, guessing about the status of the relationship, wondering what you've done to upset them, or whether they're dead, alive, or just ignoring you, which can sometimes all feel the same. People who care about you won't let you go on feeling rubbish without attempting to sort it out. That doesn't mean you'll sort it out, of course, but at least they'll try. Take it as a sign of their investment in the relationship if they leave you out there for lengthy sessions. It means they don't give a flying fuck. They'll use non-toxic words with a toxic tone. The message might be innocent enough, but the tone conveys so much more. Something like, "What did I do today?" Can mean different things depending on the way it's said, right? It could mean anything from, "So I bet you did nothing, as usual," like my mom, to, "I'm sure your day was better than mine. Mine was awful, just awful, and you didn't even notice enough to ask." When you question the tone, they'll come back with, "All I said was, what did you do today?" Which is true, kind of not really. They'll bring irrelevant detail into a conversation. When you're trying to resolve something important to you, toxic people will bring in irrelevant detail from 5 arguments ago. The problem with this is that before you know it, You're arguing about something you did 6 months ago, still defending yourself, rather than dealing with the issue at hand. Somehow, it just always seems to end up about what you've done to them. Number 10, they'll make it about the way you're talking, rather than what you're talking about. I mean, we kind of just did that, but we're moving on, Karen. We're moving on. You might be trying to resolve an issue or get clarification, and before you know it, the conversation/argument has moved away from the issue that was important to you and onto the manner in which you talked about it. Whether there is any issue with your manner or not, you'll find yourself defending your tone, your gestures, your choice of words, or the way your belly moves when you breathe. It doesn't even need to make sense. Meanwhile, your initial need is well gone on the pile of unfinished conversations that seems to grow bigger by the day. Good old number 11, they exaggerate. You never. It's hard to defend yourself against this form of manipulation. Toxic people have a way of drawing on the one time you didn't, or the one time you did, as evidence of your shortcomings. Don't buy into the argument. You won't win and don't need to. And the final one, number 12, they're judgmental. We all get it wrong sometimes, okay? Okay? We all get it wrong sometimes. But toxic people will make sure you know it. They'll judge you and take a swipe at your self-esteem, suggesting that you're less than because you made a mistake. We're all allowed to get it wrong now and then, but unless we've done something that affects them, nobody has the right to stand in judgment. So, yeah, what do you think? Hopefully you're not having to deal with this shit, but the odds are if, you deal with, anyone, like, you probably do. Sometimes we just need a moment together over this stuff to ruminate and have, and just be like, yeah. And then we can move on with our day. So, until next time and beyond, please take care.